Durban will also host a series of events at a theatre there to celebrate the coronation of King Charles III. The theatre is currently broadcasting a live screening of the event. There's also going to be a picnic, we understand, live music as well as a concert featuring the KZN Philharmonic Orchestra. So Vusi Khumalo is at that event for us this morning. Vusi, a very good morning to you. I see things have gotten underway there. I'm looking at the screen behind you. That is clearly the live screening of the event. What's the mood like there?
Yes, indeed, Durban is alive with such a great or once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, as there are a lot of activities here in Durban, especially where we are here in Durban at Rhumbelow. We are seeing quite a number of people who have gathered here in order to view the live screening, also showing the celebrations that are taking place in London, as we have earlier on heading a procession that was started from Buckingham Palace up to the Westminster Abbey, where the coronation or the main festivities of the coronation will be taking place. But with me is the British chairperson of the Cultural and Heritage Association, Mr. Graham Fuller, who's going to tell us more details about today's event here in Durban. Welcome, sir. Just tell us about the importance or the significance of this day. We know that there's a lot of British people in South Africa who are based here in South Africa. And tell us about the significance of gathering here in order to celebrate activities that are taking place in London.
Well, I think there are a lot of people in this part of the world that have an association with Britain, either by ancestry or by the fact that they lived there themselves. And so it's very important for them to be able to link in to their heritage and to watch the important ceremonial that goes on an occasion like this. The British do it much better than anybody else in the world. Most of us saw the events surrounding the Queen's funeral. Well, this is bigger and better, and it's not going to happen on the same scale again, probably, because for cost reasons this type of thing is likely to be scaled down as time goes on. So for those of us who can't get there to see it live, this is the next best option. And we've got a big screen here. People from various different societies and some other members of the public who have an interest in this type of thing are going to enjoy it, and I hope that everybody else that watches it will enjoy it too.
I'm sure you may have seen or watched the coronation before. Compared to this one, how is it?
Well, the coronation that took place in 1953, I personally didn't witness it, but it is available. You can look at the colour footage. It was the first coronation that was ever televised live. The scale of this event is much less because they've got something like a quarter of the number of people invited to the Abbey. I think it's 2,000 altogether. They had about 8,000 for the Queen's coronation. And also the numbers of troops that are involved, although they are quite a lot, I think they have 9,000 altogether this time. It's much, much less than what happened in 1953, partly for cost reasons and partly because the Commonwealth no longer has the influence that it had in those days.
And amongst the people who are here, are the people with direct links from Britain, or they are just evenly spread across other races as well?
Well, certainly this event now, where we are standing, is open to the public in general, and I think everybody has a right and should show an interest in this. South Africa left the Commonwealth in 1961 for political reasons, and in fact they weren't welcome until 1994, when the moves took place to establish proper democracy here. And we then rejoined the Commonwealth in January 1994, so we are one of the 56 voluntary nations in the Commonwealth, which is an association of nations for literally, as it means, Commonwealth, the good of the people. And I think we do benefit in some ways from our links that we have with Britain. It's still one of the major trading partners and one of the big sources of tourism in both directions. So we should maintain our links, and it's part of my culture and part of many other people's culture too. So it's really something we should be involved with and we should celebrate.
Okay, and also tell us about the activities that have been lined up. We know that there's also a church service tomorrow, as we know that King Charles III is also the head of the Anglican Church.
Yes, Father Dane Ellsworth, who is the rector of St. Cyprian's Church, not far from here on Rhumbelow Road in Durban, has arranged a splendid service for tomorrow, after which there will be a gathering, a social gathering, and some musical entertainment, British music and a pipe band. So that's also part of the plan. There's going to be a broadcast from the UK tomorrow of the BBC concert on television, and then later in the month, on the 21st of May, which is a Sunday, at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, the British Cultural and Heritage Association has arranged a concert of patriotic British music. It will be held in the Durban Light Infantry Hall, and it will be conducted by Russell Scott, and the KZN Philharmonic Orchestra and the Durban Symphonic Choir will also be involved in that.
Do you think the relationship between the two countries, is it something that needs to be improved?
Well, we have a reasonably good relationship all along. There obviously will be political ups and downs in both countries, but I think the links are still very strong, and they should be maintained and improved. And there's a great advantage to us being involved in trade in that direction too. Always has been, and it will be continued.
Thanks a lot, sir.
Thank you.
That's Graham Fuller, who's telling us that there are those still strong links between Britain and also South Africa. South Africa is one of those countries that was Anglophone, that was colonized by Britain and in years gone by. So these are the people who are actually coming from Durban, who have come here together and celebrate the coronation of King Charles III, the activities that are currently taking place in London, as we are seeing the young and old who have gathered here in order to be part of this once in a lifetime opportunity, or once in a blue moon. So later on, we're also going to speak to some of the people. I don't know if I can grab just one person here. I don't know if time allows. If I can please have your names first, if you can introduce yourself and looking at the camera.
I'm Father Dane Ellsworth. I'm the rector and parish priest at St. Cyprian's in Rhumbelow Road, the Anglican parish.
Okay, thanks a lot. We know that South Africans also are very much part of the British activities that are taking place today, the coronation of King Charles III. What's the mood like here, as we've just been one of those organizers of this event?
Well, there's one of excitement, anticipation. South Africa is a Commonwealth country. Our flag will be represented in the coronation as part of that. So we're here to enjoy the day, enjoy the ceremony, and enjoy watching the festivities, and just to share in that, in a very happy day for the people all over the world, particularly in Britain, but also in many Commonwealth countries.
Do you feel like you are part of the activities that are taking place today?
Well, we're far away, but in watching it on the big screen, yes, we do feel that we are sort of involved in some way, some small way.
Okay. I know there's a church service that is also dedicated to tomorrow's event, today's event. As we know that King Charles III is also the head of the Anglican Church. Tell us about that. How is it being done here in South Africa?
Okay, well, King Charles III is the Supreme Governor of the Church of England, so he's technically the head of the Anglican Church. He's also Fide Defensor, which means defender of the faith. So what is happening in Britain and in many Commonwealth countries is that tomorrow there will be church services, and then there will be coronation parties. So at St. Cyprian's we are doing that. We're having a church service with a lot of music. We're having the Durban Chamber Choir. We've got the Jenny Gall Ensemble. We've got a trumpeter. And then after the service we're having a bring-in bra, which they don't do in the UK, and it's a South African thing, as we know, and bring in picnic. And anyone is invited. The service is at 9 o'clock, and St. Cyprian's is in 603 Rhumbelow Road, and they're welcome to the bring-in bra, bring-in party afterwards. We'll have a pipe band, we'll have live music.
Thanks a lot, sir.
Thank you very much.
Yes, there you have it. South Africans are also celebrating this day in a very unique way of South Africa, saying that they will also be braaiing here tomorrow in celebration of the coronation that is taking place in Britain today. Well, South Africa does have those relationship with Britain, having had the cultural and also sharing the language as a former colony of the Britain.